Walking is one of the most underrated exercise, even though we walk every single day. A lot of people don't realize the importance of walking. They don't realize how walking helps your thinking, how it helps so many things, right? So I'm going to share with you um, why I love walking, why I am passionate about walking, why if I don't do any other exercise, Jackie will walk. So I started really getting serious with walking oof, when I was in corporate. So I left corporate in 2018. And that's for another topic. But during my years in corporate, we had a wellness day, which was usually on Wednesdays. And that wellness day included the company bringing in healthy foods, right? Um, Healthy drinks, um, doing a lot of healthy routines. And one of the healthy activity routines was walking outside, doing step walking. Or challenges. And so that worked for me, especially as a young mother and with two kids who was working, you know, who really did not set aside proper time to go work out. So having these little challenges at work is or was a eye opener for me. And so that's how I began to get into walking. I would go walk on my breaks. I would go walk on lunch. It started as challenges with work, but it became something that I adapted for myself. And so ever since then, I would say, when I got serious, so when the kids were little, um, I was working in the hospital at the time. So we're talking when they were both under 5 years old. I began to incorporate walking because when I got home, it wasn't happening, right? So I began to incorporate that lifestyle. It became a lifestyle to the point where I read a book well, actually, I was looking for a walking video. So I was living in New York. I'm originally from Long Island, New York. Fun fact. And so I was living in New Jersey at the time. We had moved from New York with the kids and moved to Jersey. And it was snowing outside. It was cold outside. And I really wanted to walk. Um, so I started looking on YouTube, for walking, videos and all that. And I came across, um, hope I'm saying her name right. It was Leslie Sanson. Leslie Sanson or Leslie Sansom. And I began to follow her Walk Away to Pounds video. That's when I realized walking was not just something you did outdoors. I realized that stepping is what you can do indoors and still get a burn. And following her, listening to these birds outside, guys. When I'm outside walking, you'll see me looking around a lot because there's a lot of nature going on here. So, anywho, I was like enjoying that because her video was 5,000 steps, and 5,000 steps was approximately 3 miles. And I did it in the house with the babies at the time. And I was like, wow, I can do this. And, if you are familiar with her videos, they are very, very, um, they're worth it, right? You get a good burn, you feel great. So that's where it started. To the point I end up buying her book and reading her book. And it was a game changer for me. To this day, I will go back to her videos if I want to walk in the house. There's so many videos out there, but for some reason, I can't get with any other videos with walking but hers. Um, and I probably listened to all of her videos. So that's where it started for me, you know. And so also, I am a preacher's kid. So we were raised Pentecostal. So, Pentecostals are very charismatic. Um, my father is a dancing preacher, and I grew up dancing. I'm not talking professionally or anything. It was just part of what we did at church, right? And I love music. I grew up on music, right? My my brother played um, the organ, the piano, and my other brother, my oldest brother, played the drums. I played the drums too, but I was a tambourine girl. So my whole point is music has always been in my soul. So now that I have my steps, I'm very creative with my walks, or you can say your steps. So I'll turn on music if I'm not walking outdoors. Well, let me say this: if I am walking outdoors, with the exception of doing these videos, if I wasn't doing this video, I would have headphones on, listening to music that has a beat to it, because I walk from a beat. I walk from a modest beat, whereas it's usually like boom, 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 right? Because it's steady, but you can get all the steps that you need in, right? And if I'm trying to speed things up, if I'm on a lunchtime, or I got a call to make or whatever, and I speed it up, right? That's why I love stepping and walking, because there's so many different intervals you can do with it and still get a great exercise. Um, I'm not going to talk about this topic much, but one of the best times I love walking now is doing intermittent fasting. A lot of people may say, oh, how you do that when you're fasting? I'll talk about that in another video, but doing a nice walk, doing intermittent fasting is a great burn for me. These are things that has helped me keep my numbers down. It has helped me clear my head. It has helped me with brain fog. Um, it has helped me with movement, even when your bones are stiff, because I work from home. I work at a desk. So it's very important, you know, to incorporate walking. I believe this is why when I worked at the hospital, why they always had wellness day, because we work at the desk, and they were promoting moving, movement. So that helped me a lot, because when I was serious about getting my steps in, and I would try to do an average of 10 to 15,000 steps a day. So that means I had to move. I had my pedometer. So if I'm at work, I would go to the second floor to use the bathroom. I would take the steps, right? I would walk around the building, because we used to get two 15-minute breaks. I would walk around the building, get my steps in. Lunchtime, I would eat at my desk before or after I walk, and use that time to walk, right? That's how I would get my steps in. If I didn't bring lunch, or if I was taking an extended lunch, because working in the hospital in the healthcare administration side could get a little bit stressful. So I may take an extended lunch and literally go for a walk in a mall. Depending on where I was walking, it'd be a shopping center. And what does that look like? I may drive there if I needed to, but most of the times where I worked, it was areas where I can walk to, go buy some water, go buy my favorite, non-sugary drink. But we'll talk about all that stuff. But my point is, there were so many ways that I found, so many ways I incorporated walking. My home here, um, in Jamaica. That'll be another topic. But right now, you guys are watching me from Jamaica and our home here. And the perimeter of the house, I can walk around the house. That's what I'm doing. So I don't have to leave my yard. I can just walk around my house and still get what I need. And I love that, right? So there are times I may go, walk outside my yard, or when I'm traveling to the States back home, see family and all, where there's lots of sidewalks. I love those walks. I love walking in communities and just different areas, right? So I'll find walking time at the mall, walking time, as I stated, in parks and places that have nice sidewalks where you can walk. But when I'm in Jamaica, and I know y'all like, okay, talk about Jamaica in another video. But when I'm in Jamaica, I like to walk in my yard. It's quiet. Um, the scenery was nice until Hurricane Melissa. So we don't have any more trees and garden in the yard. Um, so I still walk in the yard because it's peaceful. Um, I can think. And my favorite time to walk is the morning times. I'm a morning person. So when I'm up, which is usually anywhere between 4:30 and 6 o'clock, right? I will come out for a walk, especially if I'm doing a personal challenge of mine. So like right now, the girl is starting all over, getting herself together because she was dealing with a cold, right? So I have to move my body, and I have some plans of traveling this year. So, and I'm not just doing it for that, because people always say I'm getting fit for my trip. No, I'm not really getting fit I'm getting fit because I need to get fit, because I choose to get fit. But it helps when you have these what I called dates, where you can say, well, like my birthday is coming, and I'm like, okay, let's see what you can do, Jackie, by May 19th. So I like to challenge myself, right? But everything I do is because I need to do it. I want to do it. You know, it's not one of those moments where I'm just doing it for a challenge. You know, my health is a lifestyle. Walking is part of that lifestyle. So I hope this video has helped you, to give you options on how you can walk. But just know that if you can't get outside, you can walk in your home in place, and it will count. You know, I'll be sharing some short videos and some small routines that I do, you know, to get moving. And even if you're not able to walk, meaning you walk with a cane, you walk with a walker, or you're in a capacitated situation where you can't move to the point where you can't stand up on your own, but you have movement in your legs, get a chair, sit down in a chair, and move your feet to a beat, right? Slow beat, fast beat, however you want to do it. The whole point of walking is it's a optional way to move your body. Remember that, especially the lower parts of your body. But understand this: when you're walking, you're not only um, moving the lower portions of your body, or I should say, the lower portions of your body is not the only thing that you're gaining um, wellness on. When you walk, your body starts to slowly warm up. When you walk, it helps that heart circulate. It helps your breathing. You know, one of the things I learned over the years is that you learn how to pace your walking with your talking. And that's when you realize or know when you're out of shape, as they say, or out of breath. Because if you can't walk and talk, that means you have work to do. And although I still have work to do, this is something I've been doing for over 10 years. So I can walk and talk and breathe at the same time. But there are times where I speed up my walk and I'm talking, that I can feel it, because I'm trying to catch my breath. So that's just one way you can see where you at with your breathing, right? Walk and try to talk, right? Try to see how many words you can say. And if you can't do it yet, just walk, right? So I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to move.